It's one of those days again. Pencil in hand, a blank page on your drafting board, and too many tabs open on your computer that you'd rather not talk about. You look up, stare at the wall, fidget with your pencil, and scroll through your Pinterest boards. Again. It's the end of the day and you found that you haven't even placed pencil to paper, so you turn off the lights and call it a day. When was the last time you sat down and was clear on what you wanted to draw for an art session? Or more importantly, when was the last time you decided to draw something not because you wanted to prove that you could draw it, but because you were genuinely interested in finding out more about what you were drawing? The hustle for skill. For the longest time, I believed that I had to draw everything to prove I was serious about art. Mostly because I wanted to show myself that I was able to do something cool, and also because I wanted to prove that art wasn't just some cute hobby I did on the side. So I took the Drawbox course back in late 2022, and every day I sat down to draw. I never complained about what I was meant to be drawing that day. Boxes, cars, insects, household items, animals, you name it. If it meant it would move me forward in my skill, I would draw that. I was focused on getting better, so the feeling of resistance wasn't even an option at the time. And after around 5 months of hard work, I finished the course. I came out of it with an understanding of perspective, and I was able to freehand strokes, and after that, I had no idea where else to go. All of those months of hard work, I had this bubbling feeling of excitement that I was finally about to be good at art, but I couldn't be any more wrong. When I didn't have the same roadmap for what I wanted to do to get better, I didn't know what else to draw because I already finished one of my first goals. Learn the fundamentals. But in those 5 months of me taking the course, I didn't really explore what I liked to draw. So either on instinct or as a desperate plea for direction, I explored animation, concept art, storyboarding, character design, and trees. This went on for a couple of months to years. Sure, I'll admit, I was kind of directionless and scatterbrained, but while I was all over the place with what I was studying, I developed a natural sense of what I wanted to make and what to do in my art. I guess the first quote-unquote big break I made in my art journey was when I tried my hand at studying the Barg method. I was first learning about values, and blocking in a drawing was still kind of new to me, so I really enjoyed doing the very meticulous and academic side of art. I enjoyed sitting there at my easel and taking my time and learning more about the subject. If I flip through my old diary entries about how I felt about all of what I was doing at the time, you'll be able to stitch together that I was pretty insecure about my decisions back then. I was completely devastated that I didn't know where to move on from what I learned from Drawbox. I rationalized how I felt by thinking I was trying to prove that I could draw. But instead, now that I know what wonderful things happened after all of those explorations of different art styles and art forms, I found that I was falling in love with the act of discovery, with the act of learning. After studying the Barg method a lot, it was enough of a guiding compass that I found my love of representational art, and I enjoyed doing that a lot. Had I not done all of those months of exploration, I never would have gotten to this path that eventually led to today, where I am studying the human head, and soon, I hope, studying the figure too. It should have been more obvious to me at the time, but before I did Drawbox, I was drawing a lot of gestures of people, and I really enjoyed drawing them. I guess at the very beginning of my art journey, I had a natural inclination for drawing people. Should have been more obvious to me, right? After all, I had a whole pile of these drawings on a shelf. If only that was the case. So, why did I not notice it before? Why did it take me a while to realize that I love the more representational side of art? Well, that's because I didn't have enough influences to pull from at the time. Opinions make an artist. I had a couple of artists' work I thought I liked, when in reality I just didn't know enough to form a coherent opinion on what I liked and what I didn't, what I wanted to make and what I wanted to practice. I grew up with a lot of stylized art as influence, and while I was aware of realistic art, I didn't exactly know enough of what and how that was made. My idea of art at the time was still very small and very limited, and I didn't have enough influences to help me form what I truly resonated with. Had I not tried my hand at studying the bark technique, it never would have opened the floodgates for learning how to draw the human figure and portrait academically, which in turn led to my love of learning representational art, which is exactly what I enjoy doing right now, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. My point is, you need to open your mind to new ways of viewing art and experiencing it. If you, like I did, was only exposed to a lot of stylistic work, then maybe try looking at paintings that are of the more traditional variety. And if you're much more exposed to classical paintings, always still open your mind to other art forms. I wouldn't have understood the potency of expression in the human face if I had not indulged in understanding the creation of animation. Different art forms have a relationship with other art forms, so try to open your mind to other forms of art, because as a result of this, you just might find where you want to go as an artist in your art journey. So where do you go from here? How do we make our art journey feel more like a journey and not like an Olympic race? Well, for starters, I want you to realize one thing. It's your art journey, not anyone else's. It's entirely yours. It's not Michelangelo's, it's not Sargent's, it's your art journey. Often, we look towards how great artists succeeded in both skill and their career, and as a result of that astonishment, we forget one other amazing thing. We also have the potential to be great artists. We also have the potential to be the artists whose habits we followed to succeed in their skill. You know that scene in Little Women where Friedrich gives his honest opinion to Jo and she says she's not Shakespeare? And Friedrich replies, "Thank goodness we already have him." That's the point I'm trying to make. The world isn't interested in another Sargent. The world isn't interested in another Michelangelo. Because the world has already had that. You've already seen their work. Don't you want to know what you're capable of? The comforting limit all of us humans have is, no matter how great or little your background is that we're all of the same body, the same mind, the same capabilities. It is in our will to effect change that differs us from each other. So let's return to you. Are you still sitting there, pencil in hand and a blank page in front of you? I want you to open your inspirations folder or your Pinterest boards, your collection of reference images, and ask yourself, when you're choosing a reference to work from, do I want to draw this? And not, can I draw that? Find references and subject matter that sparks your curiosity, the kind of stuff you find interesting, the kind of stuff that excites you to draw. In my case, I've always gravitated towards more natural-looking subjects, drawing stuff from the natural world. To summarize everything I've just rambled on about, you should make it a habit to draw from a place of curiosity and not out of trying to prove your skill. Having a shift in intentionality and recognizing what you naturally gravitate towards is necessary if you want to continue on in your art journey. Because at the end of the day, you'll find that what you really enjoy making, it's pretty cool.